Season recap.
Season's not over.
I knew you were going to say that. I was waiting for that.
It's not even close to over. Totally.
It's definitely close to over.
It's over in certain areas.
We got a full month.
We have 2 weeks here.
2 more trips for us.
1 trip in Montana, 1 trip in Wyoming.
Yep.
And then we're done.
All the way done.
Which kind of sucks.
Then we get to go to Utah.
Yeah, not a hunting trip, but it'll be fun.
Heck yeah. I'm excited. Get to see Ryan's domain.
I can tell you it's quite the expo.
It's big.
The Western Hunting Expo.
Heck yeah.
Especially if you like elk hunting and mule deer hunting.
Which I like half of those.
Well, we already know you're not an elk hunter.
Here we go. Guy kills himself 5 or 6 elk, and all of a sudden he's the fucking elk whisperer.
I just haven't seen you hunt elk.
You haven't seen me do a lot of shit.
Well, I know.
You haven't seen me hunt mule deer.
Well, you have hunted mule deer since I've known you.
Right.
So,
I've also killed elk since I've known you.
not you. I mean, you've killed shoulder cows on private land with a rifle. Like, go out and there's one. Dead. Like, yes, I've seen that.
Are you
That's
saying
not elk
are you
hunting.
saying that elk hunting is a public land endeavor?
No, not at all.
I mean,
not
you're
at all.
killing them on private land.
Oh, of course.
He says. To
I'm
me.
just saying. Like,
Hell
a
yeah, I'm
shoulder
hunting
season,
private land.
A shoulder season elk. I mean, I don't know. I
just don't care.
wouldn't
I
say-
just don't really care about elk hunting, but it's
thank
great
you.
to go shoot one. But
Thank you.
But saying I'm
That's
not.
nice to hear, isn't it,
But
Ryan?
saying I'm not an elk hunter, I've never self-identified as an elk hunter, but I mean I've shot a lot of elk. Shot a lot of elk.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm excited to go to an expo that isn't filled with a bunch of people from the South. We get to spend some time with our folk, Western hunters.
It is by name called the Western Hunting Expo.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
Western Hunting and Conservation Expo.
Yeah. Not that I don't like people from the South. It's just different. It's very different.
Different culture for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Won't be eating shrimp with our hands.
I really enjoyed.
That's the best part.
I really enjoyed that
Oh, man.
when we went down to the Delta Expo down in Louisiana. I had a really fun time.
Me
Got to see
too.
a bunch of people that we haven't seen in a long time, but
Yeah, I did too.
it'll be the same thing, but a little bit different because we will know a lot of people there. Down in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Where Brady and I are both from.
Yeah.
Utah.
We'll get to meet all of Ryan's cousins.
Oh, yeah.
All
Man,
120 of them.
we're only going to be there for 2 nights in a day. I don't think we're going to have time to meet all his cousins.
We'll meet the ones that are in front of us, which will be basically everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Do all your cousins know that your new nickname is the Coyote?
Yeah. I mean, one of them sent me the buckle.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The dust settles. I don't. The Coyote. With a ranch bronc rider on it.
Such a great buckle.
It is.
It's one of the finer Christmas gifts I've seen anybody get.
Yeah. No, I was fired up.
You got it on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see it.
Of course he's got it
I
on.
mean-
I love that. Looks so good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make
Thrust
it
those
better
hips
is if
forward.
the
Oh,
only
I did.
thing that would make it better is if the bronc rider was falling off the front.
Yeah, that was my MO last year. Hopefully change that this year.
Heck
Are you
yeah.
going to get on this year?
Yeah.
Damn right.
I mean, he said last year he would, and last year when he said he would enter, he did. So
He did.
I got to believe him.
Mama didn't raise no quitter, that's for sure.
He's a man of his word.
Yes, I am of that.
1
Hell
out of
yeah.
4 in our group.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yep. Not us 4. Well, partially.
Yeah, partially. That's great.
Yep.
Well, we're back for another over the road. Or no, riding
Shotgun.
shotgun. Riding shotgun.
Yeah.
With Flying V.
Yeah.
It's like you're sitting on Brady's center console.
Yep.
Man, I kind of wish we had a headset for Led, because he likes to talk a little bit here and there when we're driving.
He'd have something to say for sure.
Oh,
As
yeah,
soon
he
as we
would.
hit that gravel road.
Yeah, he gets fired up. Like, here we go, boys.
He knows when we're on a gravel road or when we're driving into a field. He's like, oh boy,
He was amped up this morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He sure was.
Well, when I got up at 2:45, I went out in the living room because I was like, I'm awake, and if I turn my phone on to read, I'm gonna wake my wife up. So I went out in the living room. As soon as I got out there, I let him out, and he looks at me, and he's like, sure feels like the middle of the night, but I'm here to party. Let him out to go to the bathroom, gave him some water, and then he saw me go grab my duffel bag and start throwing stuff in it, and he just starts spinning circles in the living room. He's like, yes, we're going hunting, boys.
Put me in, coach.
And I'm not on the bench this time.
No.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of those other black dogs around.
Yeah. He's the starting and the backup quarterback this week.
Yeah. Who was it that I think it was Don and Wally on this last trip that was saying something about a Chesapeake Bay retriever that was meaner than hell, but as soon as you picked up a shotgun case or waders or anything, he was your best friend, wasn't
Yeah, they were saying something about one like that, yeah.
That's funny just how they associate certain things with going hunting and they just get fired up.
Well, Led's been with us for 7 seasons now, so he definitely knows when I walk out of the room in the dark, cold morning and, it's just me, not Emily.
Yeah.
If Emily comes with me, he knows instantly he's screwed.
Yeah, no fun.
There ain't no hunting going on.
Not any that I'll be part of, he says.
She never wakes up in the morning and comes and hangs out while I get ready at, 3:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, although she was awake this morning when I was leaving, she called me right as I was about to leave. Went in, told her goodbye. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's an early to bed, early to rise kind of gal, and a light sleeper.
Yeah.
Once she had kids, boy, she really turned into a light sleeper.
Yeah, Camille was up and I left too.
Yeah. Yeah, once you get them bred, their sleep goes way downhill.
We're out scouting right now. We left ass early this morning. And we are here and we have beat the geese. So
Yep.
we'll be killing a little bit of time with you boys talking about whatever comes to mind, I suppose. But season recap.
Season recap. So we've still got, like Matt said, we got this trip for a week and we've got a Wyoming trip for a week. But we are on the tail end of the season. What do you boys think? How's it been?
It's been good. I mean, it always feels like it shouldn't be the end of the season when it happens, but we've also hunted a bunch. So, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, feels like it's been forever and no time all at the same time.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we one thing that was interesting and caught me a little bit off guard was we have so many projects going on, Flying V Ranches, that all of the downtime was filled with heavy thought and watching and seeing what's working and moving water and fixing things and just trying to dissect all of the information that's being thrown at us on first-year projects or second-year projects, and then trying to decide what's the next move, what's the next play, what was different last year versus this year, and how it's affecting our decision-making. That kind of ate up a bunch of time. So it made me feel like we were hunting way more than we actually did. Now we hunted the same amount that we usually do, but it felt like we were always turned on and always on the hunt at the very least, right?
Yeah.
Every day we were scouting or
Doing something.
Look at all the turkeys.
Yeah.
Look at all those.
Holy wild turkeys.
Yeah, bunch of hens.
Man, I love to see that.
Yeah.
Gobble, gobble. Look
I'm
at
a
in the
damn
tree.
turkey hunter now, boys.
Flew
Yeah,
right up
look at
into the
that.
tree.
Look at that. Tom's sitting right on the cattle guard.
Oh my gosh.
You just love to see it. They're just graveling, filling their crop.
Oh yeah, there's more here. Yep.
So that was a big big change for this season for me. Is it felt like it flew by because we were always turned on.
Yeah.
When I look back at the season, one of the things that sticks out to me is somewhere around the 20th to 25th of October till about Thanksgiving, it was an absolute slaughter.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the most productive Novembers we've ever had, by
Yes,
far.
I agree.
November's always good, right? You get your first pushes and things start to click, but, man, this year in November, ducks specifically, we had so many ducks that we didn't really hunt geese a whole lot that month.
No.
And
Well, they didn't show up.
Yeah,
they
were
weren't
late.
there. Yeah, they were late.
Yeah.
It was another warm year up here in Montana, but god dang it, the ducks were just on fire. Like, got to the point where you just go to the blind and however many guys you had, you knew you were going to kill a limit of ducks.
Yeah.
So we, try to make it sporty, do gentleman shoots, one at a time, this and that. It was super fun. But,
yeah.
man alive, were there a bunch of ducks getting killed this November.
Well, and the Gorge project was a huge catalyst to that, in
Oh,
my
for
opinion.
sure.
I mean, we did that project, moved over 40,000 yards of dirt and flattened a bunch of cells out and built a 6-cell impoundment system with individual control structures. And, man, it really, really worked.
Yeah.
And it really ramped up our October and early November hunting,
Yeah, it was. It changed the early season for sure.
which is great. It was so great to see.
Oh, it was incredible.
And
we didn't even flood till mid-October anyway.
Yeah.
So next year I'm excited because we'll have all the cells fully running next year. I'm excited to start flooding basically right before the season and just see what kind of pull we can have those first 2 weeks of the season. Because normally, I mean, I'm sure it's the same for anybody wherever they're at, but normally the first 2 weeks of waterfowl season are our lightest weeks.
Yeah.
Historically we'll have one good goose hunt somewhere and then it's kind of it.
Yeah. Yeah, on that particular ranch, it's there's plenty of early season food for them. And with our wetland project that's down in the river bottom on the line, I mean, that holds so many birds. We were concerned about cannibalizing that if we opened up the gorge too early. And I do believe that it would have. I think it would have been
tough to say. I mean, what we did find is that I don't know that it cannibalized it. What it did is they just bounced between the two.
Yeah. Yeah, but they started feeding at night more, and because we'd shoot them in the gorge and they'd feed at night more. Whereas if you shot them in the wetland, then they didn't really do the nighttime thing in there as much because they would go to the gorge, feed in the gorge at night.
Yeah.
It was really good learning.
That was awesome.
Really fun to watch and see and monitor. And we ran trail cams on some of these water spots this year, so we got to see what the activity was like at night, which was also, in my opinion, for us, we're going through this duck thing, and you do these duck projects and you put a bunch of money and time and effort into these projects. It's really good to see how they're reacting naturally, not just on site while you're hunting, but what happens when you're not hunting.
When there's no pressure.
Yeah,
on
when
it.
there's no pressure for 2 weeks, what happens to them?
Yeah.
They still feed at night even if there's no pressure on them. I will say that. That moon comes out, man, do they eat.
You could open your phone at any time and say, "Show me that duck hole."
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we flooded cell 1 of the gorge, it's a barley crop, and initially when we put water to it, all the barley that was underwater,
Geese.
7 of them.
rehydrated, and it was like it gave it a look of gold when we flew the drone. Like you could totally see it, and they found it within 4 or 5 days when we first put water to it.
Well, they originally didn't find it, and so what we did is we added more water than we wanted to help open up some water and give them a good look. Right? And then once they found it, then we lowered it back down and staged the feeding. Worked out really well. Got a few birds out.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting field.
That would be a really hard field.
It'd be a tricky field to hunt.
Yeah.
Here's where I want to see them.
Yeah, me too.
The other big change this year was hunting out of pits versus hunting the A-frames. Like in the West Impoundment, where last year we hunted an A-frame in the middle of a standing barley field stuck out not great. And this year it was we were well hidden.
Yeah, I mean, we
100%.
built a big dirt mound, buried a pit in it right in the middle of a flooded impoundment. I mean, that west impoundment.
What are they doing out there?
What are you looking at?
All the trucks out there?
Is that a feed or is that their spread?
Well, no, I don't think it's a spread, but they got trucks and equipment. And do you have binos in here, or do we need to swing him back and get mine?
Probably have to hop in back.
I got mine in my meat eater bag.
In
or
here?
my first light. No, in
No,
the
I
bed
got
of the
mine
truck.
in the back too.
Bed of the truck.
Let's pull
I need,
over so
I
I
need
can
to
get
stop in just a second and air lead anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to pause, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold your horses. We'll be back.
Or back on the road.
Scouting has resumed. We aired lead. Boys got their binos. We're in business.
Looking at a locked up river, huh?
It always freezes right here.
Oh, yeah, this is
Yeah.
always froze.
Like, as soon as it freezes anywhere, this is
The fact that there's that much open water
first to freeze
means that
here.
it's 40 degrees out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be mega cold. We're going to have, it's going to get down to negative 15, probably negative 20 in here.
Yeah, I mean, today is a high of 45 degrees, and then the bottom's going to fall out of it, and we're going to be 60 degrees colder.
Yeah.
Missing those pits that Dane was talking about earlier.
Yeah, those heated pits don't sound too bad.
Yeah. But, yeah, we were talking about flooded food, putting the pits in, how we, changes from hunting A-frames to mostly hunting pits this year, all that sort of stuff.
On that particular property, yes.
Bunch of geese
Yes.
right here.
There is a pile of geese on the river.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, that's all going to freeze up.
Mm-hmm.
That particular spot will freeze, yes.
Yeah.
Good to see that, this is still a refuge, huh?
Yes, very much pumped that it's still a refuge.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the pit hunting was really fun this year. We learned a lot about it. And we struggled with it for a while, just trying to figure out how to set spreads and how the birds worked. And we got the pits in a little bit late, after
everything was planted.
After everything was planted. So we
After
had
everything
a
was
big
harvested.
big dark spot in the middle of the fields. And, next year those pits will look a lot better. But we did decide that we are going to rip some of those pits out. We're going to build some flat tops. We hunted out of the Kohlers this year, and, I really enjoyed the Kohler pit.
I think they're awesome.
I mean, they are incredible pits. The difference is that they are not a flat top. So in the field, you got to work a little extra hard to cover them up, but they work great on the duck holes.
Oh, man, yeah. Duck spots, they were incredible.
Yes. And we got them in early enough on the duck spots that the grass kind of grew around them a little bit. And you can hide them in the, you're just not right where the birds want to be. You're 15 yards off it. So
yeah.
It was really comfortable hunting out of those Kohlers when it would get really, really cold.
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 heaters in there and 16-foot blind. I mean, you crank 4 propane burners in there, and it's you can wear a T-shirt.
Oh, yeah, you're going skins for sure.
We could play shirts and skins.
It was great, though.
Yeah, and another thing about them is because they're slanted, the lid is slanted, it's really hard to see behind you, which in the field, the birds will circle behind you, and you kind of lose them.
You do lose them a little
you
bit.
You basically can't see behind you unless you stick your head up completely out of the pit.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be able to read the shadows, so we faced them all, for the most part, north. And so when they'd swing behind you, you'd see the shadows out in front of you and see if they were working, but you really had to rely on your ears to be able to tell you if they were still circling or if they're going away or if they're coming around. You really had to rely on your ears, which was unique because you use your eyes for everything in an A-frame.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I like the pit hunting. I'm excited to put some flat top pits in the fields, move some of those Kohlers into additional duck spots. We need some in some other cells. We've got some other natural duck holes that we'll put a couple in. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to work out really well.
Oh, yeah.
We are making plans for a big old mega pit in one of our main fields, which I'm really pumped about that pit.
Yeah. I
Put
was looking at it.
That's nice. I've been following on Instagram those pit property guys.
That's what I was just going to bring up.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they build full-on lodges underneath the ground. It is impressive.
Bad to the bone.
And
we need to reach out to those boys and chat. Get some
learn a little
hear
bit.
what they like and don't like and what's worked and hasn't worked.
Yeah, those are all step-ups. And
Cool deer on there.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that as well. We got a lot of work to do this spring, but as far as the season is concerned, I think it was a smashing success, and we had a banner year. We got birds early. We were able to beat them up early. We never really found the bottom in the pressure on the birds that we had.
No.
We hunted them pretty hard and shot the shit out of them.
Yep.
And they still just kept coming and coming and coming. It was really impressive. And then as we moved into when the geese started showing up, every one of our hunts, once the geese showed up, every hunt was a combo hunt.
Yeah.
That was really cool, and that's
Yep.
unique. That's not something that we've had necessarily a lot of in the past.
Yep.
Where every single hunt you're going to shoot both ducks and geese. So, we did run duck decoys. I would be, I'm a little bit indifferent on duck decoys. But it did feel like they worked a little bit. The ducks worked the hole a little bit better when you put a little teardrop out there with the ducks.
Yeah, I mean, I would say they work quite a bit better.
It's just tough for me to say because we have shot a lot of ducks in the field without running anything but a spinner.
I totally agree with that. But, like, you take this last week, we did a day where we didn't run any duck decoys and we ran just spinners. And the ducks didn't work us as well as they did if we had 3 or 4 dozen full bodies plus the spinners out.
Yeah, it was just there was variables to that hunt too.
There was, but they're just so easy to put out. We leave them on the stands in a seed bag in the trailer. Like, if you're going to run a combo hunt, it just seems like, why wouldn't you put the ducks in there?
The geese just never finish next to them. That's my biggest, because when we're hunting and it's a combo hunt, if there's ducks in the air and even one single goose flies over, everything switches to that goose. And so, in my opinion, I felt like the geese did not work it as well when we had the ducks out. I mean, I've seen that in the past as well. Like when you run the duck decoys, for whatever reason, the geese will not finish next to them. They will always finish on the edge. Well, if you're setting up the spread for both, I mean, you put the ducks in the hole because they will work the hole, but then the geese would always finish on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
We had far left and far right shooting a lot this year, way more than we've ever had in the past, and we ran a lot of duck decoys.
Well, and one of the things that we learned through the season with these new pits, because we had them custom done a little bit taller for one of the guys, that it creates a little bit of a shadow, and we had to move some of the broom corn forward to close that black line up a little bit. I know that's one thing that we had talked about, that the geese weren't just totally loving. They'd circle us, but never commit because we figured that black line that we had. And once we adjusted that last day, they finished way better for you guys.
I do agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
I do agree with that.
So there's some variables that we were just learning and working through hunting these pits for the first time this year.
And another thing we did on this last week of the season where we did finish geese a little bit better, we didn't do straight duck spread and straight goose spread. What we did is we combined the ducks with the geese, and we made a dark hole with the ducks and geese, versus what we had done early in the season was all the ducks together and then the goose spread.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we never mixed them until that last week.
Right.
Yeah. But even to the duck decoy point, like, I do agree that the ducks finish better. Like, it was the last day or second to last day, we had a bigger pod of duck decoys on the right side of the spread along with the spinners there, and it seemed like every single bird would suck to that point, and then either they'd get shot there or they'd spin around behind us and the left side would get shots on the ducks.
On the swing.
On the swing, but they wanted to finish on the duck decoys, like 5 feet from the spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think in general, my opinion is it's a good idea to have duck decoys if you're running a true combo hunt. And the thing about it is again, we were so duck heavy this year on numbers too, that I know we like to shoot the geese, but we can shoot more ducks. And the ducks were there in huge numbers. I think it's a smart play to run duck decoys with the spinners.
Yeah.
Because that's your just highest probability.
Yeah.
It just
this
darkens it up.
Yeah.
I think they like the dark spot.
Yeah.
What was the distribution of ducks to geese this year? You have rough numbers, Matt?
7 to 10. Oh, like what we killed or what we ran?
What we killed.
Got geese up over the.
I mean, we killed way more ducks.
Way more ducks.
Like 70, 80%.
Yeah.
Ducks.
A pretty good line right there off the 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Coming our way.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're getting up from that spot we saw them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming to this side.
But now we're 100% goose hunters this week.
We can't even legally shoot a duck.
Which is honestly kind of cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
Can we legally kill a duck? The truth is, I think in our minds we're like, no.
I think today is the last day.
No, if I'm thinking about it, what's today is 16th?
Yeah.
Zone 2 duck closes on the 21st. I'm 90% sure of that. I got it on my computer, though. We can look it up. But I do think it's open until this weekend at least.
Well, we're going to pretend like we can't kill a duck.
Yeah, we're not duck hunting.
I mean,
you guys can keep talking, but will you park it for a sec, Brady?
Yeah.
Park it.
Once we get past this house.
Yeah, not right next to the house.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just want to get a little video to you listeners.
Of what?
Geese flying.
Yeah.
They're flying.
We are filming an episode this week out here.
Yes, we will.
For the Meat Eater series.
Man, there's pheasants everywhere.
Oh, so
we
many
are
pheasants.
Multitasking right now, filming a podcast, filming for the show, filming our own stuff.
Oh, we know exactly where they're going.
A familiar face.
To the ranch we should have bought 6 years ago.
Oh.
Brady's locking up.
Did that work?
No, it was way late, but
Too late.
It's all good.
Yeah, I just wanted to get past the tree so I could see where they were going if they went somewhere.
Right here.
Probably.
Well, there was more than that on the river, so we'll get another chance.
It's all good.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of gooses around.
But the bottom is going to drop out, which will force birds out. We know that.
Birds.
That's the ones.
Those are the ones.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if they went down over here or not.
No.
Good eye, though.
Well, you were pointing the camera out here, so I was like,
good eye.
They're over there.
What was one of your, Brady, what was your favorite hunt so far this season? I know we got this trip and then Wyoming. What was your favorite so far?
I was just going to ask that.
Man, I got to think about that.
I'll start with mine.
Okay.
Perfect.
My favorite hunt was the hunt that I brought my wife and 3.5-year-old son, Deke, on. It was Deke's first hunt that he's ever been on. And we hunted a pit. It was cold that day. It was 10 degrees or whatever it was. We hunted a tiny little spring, spring water, and ran a couple dozen decoys, and with the intent to not shoot a lot. He's a little bit sensitive to the gunfire, but we put those earmuffs on him, and he had no problems at all.
He did great.
And he had such a fun time, and it was such a fresh, unique perspective to bring, just a little kid who's just amped up and has watched videos for years. And, it was really, really cool to have him out in the field hunting ducks, and we killed 7 or 8, and he just had a blast.
Oh, yeah. Ate some snacks.
I mean, lots of snacks. He
got to blow his duck call.
He got to blow his duck call at the birds when they'd come in, and sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't, and
that was
it
was one of my favorite parts about that hunt is you, Brady, and Deke. I mean, I know you guys call it the house a lot, but like it was pretty cool seeing him in the blind, getting in a cadence with you and Brady.
Yeah, he was just replicating and following the lead, and it was just so fun, and it was fun to get Camille out. She hasn't been hunting in a few years either, and it was just really special for me as a dad to get him out, and man, he still talks about it today. And Dane fell in the water and filled his waders, and he still talks about that. And God dang, was it funny?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, turkey!
There's a whole
put the
flock
brakes
of
on.
them here.
Put the brakes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool to have Deke and Camille out in the blind with us, and yeah, we shot some birds, and he got to see the whole process, and yeah, there's a video on Instagram
that was awesome.
It's really, really fun. That was my, like, when I think back, that was the one that sticks out the most to me.
Yeah.
My favorite part about that hunt is we shot the first few ducks, and we're sitting in the blind, and you're holding it, and you're like, what color's his head? And you point at his head, and Deke's like, green. And then you pick him up by the foot, and you said, what color is this? And he goes, carrots.
What color is his leg? Yeah.
Carrots.
Carrots. Yeah.
And
so
carrots
funny.
are orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Look at all these turkeys, boys.
Yeah.
Ryan's fired up.
This field always has turkeys in it.
It's
Every-
like the #1 turkey field around.
I mean, for 10 years, I've seen
Let's
turkeys
get a
in this field.
snippet of it, BD.
Oh, camera guys. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get your shot.
This is, I'm pretty sure this field is one that you got a shot of a quill a few years ago,
It
Matt.
is.
Mm-hmm.
It
was
is.
completely loaded with geese.
Yep. And you put the shades on them.
Oh, that wasn't in this field. But
Oh, it wasn't?
no.
Oh.
But we do have pictures of a quill in this field.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, boys.
You bet. As I think back, my favorite hunt, so obviously I love the hunt with Deke too. Really
Different
cool.
circumstance, right?
The one that sticks out to me is the very first hunt that we did in the gorge.
Yes.
And part of that was because, when you have all these talks and you come up with this grand idea and then all this money's invested into building this impoundment system, and you put in the pits and you do this and you put in the pivots and then you farm it and then everything, and it's like finally go time, and you fill that son of a bitch up and ducks are going to it and you get all excited, and then day one when you go in there to hunt it, it's like man, I sure hope this works.
Yeah.
And boy, were they backpedaling.
I'm going to feel bad if we just, scratch out on this hunt. And, man, sunrise happened and the floodgates opened, and it was ducks on ducks on ducks on ducks. It was just an absolute butcher shop. And I just remember sitting there, A, obviously enjoying the hunting. The hunting was awesome. But B, just being like, God dang it, I'm pumped this worked like we thought it would.
Yeah, because we built it a little off the line, so it's in a bit of a unique.
It's not in a main flight path.
It's in a bit of a unique area, and so they had to find it.
Yep.
And when they did, boy, did they come.
And when we flooded that cell, day one, nothing. Day two, there'd be 2 or 3 ducks in it. Day 3, there'd be 50 or 60. Day 4, it's like there's a couple hundred ducks in there. Day 5, you couldn't fit a playing card in there. There was damn many ducks in there.
Birds coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Yep. And then once we saw that happen, then we hunted it, 2 or 3 days after that. It had been flooded for over a week by the time we did that first hunt in there.
Yeah.
But man alive, was it so awesome to sit in that pit, watch the birds work it exactly how we thought they would when we designed it and built it and everything.
And with the flow, it was
everybody was just so jacked after
it
that
was.
hunt, too.
We were so excited.
Spirits were so high. Our partner spirits were high.
Yeah.
Like everybody was on cloud 9, and that particular cell, which is cell number 2 in our system, that thing produced like that for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks or so.
It was so freaking good.
Yeah.
And so that when I think back to answer your question, favorite hunt, it was that one because A, the hunting was good, spirits were mega high, but B, it also just reaffirmed our thought process that we've had for a year, strategizing and scheming up this grand plan to build this project. I mean,
proved a
the
concept.
project was big. You know, we moved 47,000 cubic yards of dirt to make it all happen. It's a huge project, lots of equipment, lots of time.
Yeah.
And we actually got that project done just in the nick of time to be able to plan it and get the barley coming.
I mean,
so
barely.
It was like we were still, I was talking to John, we were still 2.5 weeks late on planting the barley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And in that same impoundment, we had 3 other cells we planted in corn that the elk absolutely decimated, so we never hunted a single corn cell. There wasn't a kernel of corn in those corn cells.
Never even got mature enough to head out.
No,
I mean,
the
elk ate it completely
as soon as it
out.
got 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall, they just went and topped all the stalks.
Well, and that's one unique challenge that we have around here is, at least in that region of the state, is we are always going to be dealing with elk problems. The elk population continues to rise. We are living in the age of the elk. And, you know, on that particular ranch, we have, you know, we're summering over 400. And then in the winter, we have 800 in the fall. And then, you know, there's reports. Now, I haven't seen 2,000, but the FWP would tell us that there's 2,000 of them in there once the migratory herd makes it down to us. That is a lot of elk.
Too damn many, if you ask me.
And if you read the, you know, animal units for food, you know, it takes, what is it? It's like 8 deer for every 1 cow, beef cow, but it's like 4 elk for every cow, as far as food consumption goes.
Yeah, they eat a lot.
That is a lot of food to be feeding when you have, even if you have 400, much less 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And man, they got nowhere to go except for right to the food and just eat it up. We like to joke around and say, here we go. We like to joke around and say that we're a duck ranch with an elk problem, and
that's exactly what we are.
The truth is, it's reality.
It's not even a joke. It's the reality.
Yeah.
I mean, this year we had almost a 50% crop loss, depredation on crop.
Yeah. On the corn, we did have 50.
Yep.
But on that ranch, there was a lot of elk harvested too, which is valuable as well.
Not enough. I mean, we only killed 12.
14.
The pressure that
14.
we put on them this year, it
14.
did have an impact on it, though. I mean, they left for a little while.
Yeah, they switched their habits for sure.
Yeah.
But go up here and
There's
see
some geese down in there.
See Joe.
I just want to see what's flying, if there's anything flying up top here.
Yeah. What was your favorite hunt this year, Ryan?
I would second Matt. I mean, I'm kind of impartial to all of them. They're all fun to me, but that one for sure, just being a dad as well, and like experience and knowing the thoughts and feelings that Matt's having, like getting your kid out on his first hunt, like there's nothing that replaces that.
No.
And I mean, just one being a part of his first, like that's something that Matt and Deke will talk about the rest of their lives. Like, you remember that? Like, no matter where we go in life, that's an important thing. And I would have to say that one personally.
Brady will say that he won't remember it. I'm hoping that's not the case, but we got pictures and video to prove it. So if he does forget it, we'll make sure he doesn't forget.
Yeah.
The pictures and video will be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think people remember stuff from when they're 3, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
I
really,
told
really
Matt,
cool.
I wish I would have had more pictures and video from when Trey started goose hunting with us in Colorado.
Right.
You know, that was back before camera phones. I mean, I wasn't taking pictures of anything.
Yeah.
Like, unless you bought a Fuji disposable camera every now and then.
And I was there when Trey shot his first duck.
Yeah.
So it was special for me to have Brady there, you know, kind of helping out with Deke and, you know, keeping it exciting, keeping it fun because, you know, fortunately but also unfortunately, I get really focused during the hunt, and all I want is to make sure we kill some birds because I want him to see them. I want him to have – the truth is what I learned after that hunt is it didn't even matter. If we would have killed one – if we would have killed none, he still would have had fun. Now, killing one, I think was the same as killing 7.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that
he was mega pumped to see Led go pick it up.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, for like 3 days, he acted like Led, and I would throw one of the stuffed animal ducks out and release him, and he'd go and he'd pick it up with his mouth and bring it back. He'd sit and he'd do the thing. It was so funny.
That's great.
Yep.
As a kid, it is pretty wild to think, like, you know, because you have dogs, but they're just pets, right? To think that, like, you can get a dog to go get a duck that you just shot and bring it back to you, and you don't even have to get out of the blind.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it's
pretty
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Really cool. Really cool.
I'm going to add to my favorite because that's like a heartfelt one.
You can only have one favorite.
Nope, that's not my favorite then.
Here we go.
I will
HMO.
Yeah, hear me out.
Hear me out. The coyote.
It's coming soon on a T-shirt. No, my favorite moment in the field this year was 2-shot. I have never seen 2 grown men, and I've been on a lot of hunts with these guys. I know it's only been now 2 seasons. I have never seen the excitement so high when they doubled in the Wyoming 2-shot.
Totally agree.
That was like we just won the Super Bowl, World Series, and freaking Stanley Cup all in one. There was no way we were going to.
If we would have got 2 more shots, it would have been even big.
Oh,
it would have been
if
even
we would
more.
have got 2 more shots, I'd have said, "We're going to Disneyland."
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that was really fun. The 2-shot. We got to fire some shells this year. Man, that was fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And sporty shots too. I mean, Brady was bent in half like a pretzel shooting over the top behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just hesitant on the shot call. I mean, we knew we were going to do it, but we were also both just like, I don't know. It's a long shot.
It's a poke.
It's a poke.
But we've also been burned in that scenario, and it's like we got to try them.
Yeah,
like,
got to try.
I mean, I'd rather miss than just not shoot.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. No
like
kidding.
you got to try.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. We sat up and like, boom, boom, 2 geese,
You said-
graveyard.
You're like, I
catch.
got one. I'm like, me too.
Me too. Yeah. You get so focused in that scenario because you only get 2 shots. Like you're so focused on in a normal hunting scenario. Like when I shot mine, I would have known you got one. But like, dude, you're so laser focused. I'm just like, kill this bird. That's my only job.
Well, and where the birds, they kind of came like up over the top of us like this. And the way that you had to shoot yours, I watched yours die like right as I pulled the trigger. So I had known that you got one.
Because I was like basically, for explanation, I was basically in front of you.
Yeah. And so I saw yours fall, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wadded them up. Like, I
There's-
hope the leads are right.
There's geese way out there to the front left.
Yeah, way
Right on the
there.
horizon.
Yeah, those.
That's where I hunted with Riley.
Yeah. Sagebrush hide.
Riley Reese.
Mm-hmm.
And Dane, you were there, Dane.
No.
Riley Reed.
Riley Reese.
Oh. I don't see any.
My favorite hunt this
right
year.
over that brown.
Yeah,
Might
I
have
see him
gone down.
flying. I just don't see him. It's one thing about this ram is because of the angle of the windshield, it's really hard to glass out of.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it is.
Gives you that like
It just
apex of the
distorted
glass.
view.
yeah, it's really distorted. So
It's like a fisheye.
you got Swaros, but it looks like you're looking through like a pair of cheap, shitty Fujis or something.
Bushnells.
Yeah.
I see them flying. They're way up at the sagebrush. I can't tell. I'll keep watching them.
My favorite hunt this year was the weekend with my cousin, Asher.
Oh, yeah.
And specifically, I mean, we killed ducks on the first day, and that was freaking awesome.
In the gorge.
We
yeah.
butchered them on the first day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was freaking amazing. But he had never shot a goose before.
Mm-hmm.
And I scouted hard. It was in November, early November, when we didn't have a lot of geese, barely any. Like we probably hadn't killed over 20 geese all year.
Mm-hmm.
And I scouted for 4 or 5 days, got on a goose field. There was a decent amount of birds. And then the day we hunted it, it was foggy in the morning, and the birds went to a different field, but we got one group of 4, and they came over the blind at about 15, 20 yards, and we shot all 4 of them, and it was
we torched them.
Sweet. And he shot his first goose.
Asher killed a goose.
Yep, and he was pumped. So that was fun because I remember, I remember shooting my first goose, and I'd killed a bunch of ducks, and I mean, all of us can agree and do agree that geese are just better.
100%.
Ducks are very, very cool to shoot, and a lot of guys enjoy shooting them, and it's been really cool to do all these projects to where we can manipulate the amount of birds that we shoot and see a direct correlation between the work that we're doing and how successful the duck hunts are. But at the end of the day, there's just something about a bunch of geese coming in loud, responding to the call, centering up, and just torching them.
Couldn't agree more.
We're just goose hunters at heart.
Yep.
Speaking of goose hunting, those ones are going over the skyline.
It's tough to tell, man. They're 4 miles away.
I'm still trying to pick out where you're looking.
I can see them, and they're setting up, but I can't tell if they're going over or going into that. I can't see any back flapping. So
you know how you guys like to give me shit about having bad eyesight?
We need to go up and over.
Spot them perfectly.
Yeah.
I can see them. I just can't see where they're going. It's all sagebrush.
Pretty easy to
Get
see.
closer.
Contrast.
Take this chariot closer. Or are you afraid?
Afraid of what?
I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of why we're sitting 4 miles away looking at them when we got a road that goes right to them.
Well, there's thousands of acres around, and I'm seeing what's flying. They're all coming from this direction, so.
No shit.
I'm,
where the river is?
I'm kind of sitting here to see, if stuff's flying up into here.
I'm confident you could set up anywhere that we can hide really well, and we can kill them up here.
How about these ones off right here at 4 o'clock?
These are the ones that we've been seeing coming down the bench.
There's a bunch of them getting up. There's water over there that is going – it's probably open right now. It's going to be frozen.
Yeah.
I would like you listeners to leave a comment, what's the banter like when you guys are scouting with your buddies? Is it similar to what we're doing, complaining about being 4 miles away and want to see where they're going? Leave a comment.
It's 28 degrees, and I see a mirage. That's how far away they are.
You might want to go to the optometrist.
No, my eyes are great. Let's go. Closer. Please.
This is maybe the first time I've ever scouted with you and you don't have sunglasses on.
Yeah. Sun's behind us, and it's covered up.
That virus you have is really
changing his ways.
Changing you.
I would not go down this road.
Matt's a little bit sick.
I'm not sick. I was sick.
Yeah.
You're taking – okay.
This is
unbelievable.
Parallel to the –
well, we got new shoes on the old dually.
Yeah.
6 new tires.
Well, it's not like we have deep snow around here.
Yeah. Call Joe up if we get stuck.
Yep. So, no, I liked the hunt with Asher too. I didn't get to hunt on the goose hunt, but I did hunt the gorge with him. That was really fun. Stayed at the war room with him. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that was good.
And Simon was there, which was a plus because we don't get to hunt with him much. I think that was right before or after he went up to Canada. I can't remember. Right after he got back from Canada.
After.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
But
yeah,
you also hunted with your dad too.
Yeah. Hunted with my dad. That was really fun.
And your brother.
And my brother. Yeah.
Dane invited a whole bunch of people this year.
I invited 3 people.
These geese straight ahead.
Which, compared to...
Yeah, they're all going, they're either in that field or they're going up over the top, but I just can't get... We just need a better line.
Yeah, well, that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Compared to everyone that's been invited this year total, it is a bunch. Yeah, 3's a bunch.
Yeah, we just did not invite people to come hunting this year.
Yeah.
We were just so tied up.
Yeah. Yeah, hunting with my dad and brother was...
we didn't want to.
No, not because we didn't want to at all. We had a mega list.
Yeah. Was really fun. it was more.
Ooh, look at this string of them, by the way. Sorry, Dane, straight out.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't say stressful, but it was really hard to get permission where the birds were. We had a bunch of birds leave that week, and because
Stop right here. I think I see him up in that corner.
Because
hosting a hunt in general is stressful.
Yeah.
Like whenever you call family or friends and say, come to Montana and come hunting with me, and then they do, you feel the pressure.
Yeah. Well, and it was just like you guys were hunting with Bob on the ranch, and so I was on my own, which I'm totally confident and comfortable doing, but it's like it's all on you, which is a good and a bad thing, because if the hunt's successful, then it's like, hell yeah, I did that. But if it's unsuccessful, it's like, man, you just question everything, and we're always hunting together, and so we always have each other to bounce ideas off of and to get feedback and that sort of thing. So,
Right.
it was one of the only times this year where I've hunted by myself in terms of goose knowledge.
Yeah.
And we had two most hunted afternoon, and we're out there at first light. And so, they were harder hunts, but they were really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we just didn't have a lot of birds then either.
Totally.
And the truth is, you wanted to stay in the valley because they were staying at your house for Thanksgiving, and
yeah, we could have gone and found birds,
and we had
2 hours away,
and we had everything that was there.
Right. Right. It was like you could see everything that was going on, but it wasn't going to happen because you guys were hunting.
Just constant streams.
Yeah, they're going up and over.
There's some out to the left too. I've seen a few not like lines like that.
Yeah, they're starting to fly. Yeah, we had some guests this season. We had Don and Wally from SOK Great Lakes. That was really fun. We did a crazy weird hunt with them. That was fun in the rail grade ditch.
Yep.
That was really cool. It was fun to hang out with them and watch them run the dogs and just show them kind of what we got going on around here. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. We had
I did too.
We had Blaine Gabbert join us for the last few days of the season. That was really fun. His excitement, he had never experienced anything like that.
Super Bowl champion, quarterback.
Super Bowl champion. That was really fun. We opened his eyes to something totally new. Now that he's retired, he's just like...
He's addicted, man.
He's fully addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already texting about what shotgun he was shooting to mine. He wants to get the same one, wants to come again. He was actually really cool to hang with, too. I really like that guy.
Me too.
I learned a lot about football, too.
Yes, you did.
We got to watch a couple wild card games with him. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool to hear his take on it because he knows a lot of those guys and he, lived that world for so long.
He definitely knows the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When he watches a football game, it's totally different than the way we watch it.
It's like us watching a goose hunting video, but even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
just
more.
over-analyzing everything. And
there is birds off of that pivot in the white.
I see that
on the ground. But the majority of these lines are going kind of like, they're going like this and then looping into the wind and coming across. I just can't see. Let's wait and see what these ones do. And we'll just glass. We got time to kill. Yeah, that was great. Who else did we have with us? So we hunted with Asher. You hunted with your family. We had Deke and Camille. We had Don and Wally.
Mm-hmm.
We had Blaine.
Eddie.
Oh yeah, and we
Eddie
had
and
some.
Steven.
Yeah, we had some friends come out and stuff. Did we do invites?
Us?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, we're kind of unsocial assholes this year.
The only other guests or friends that we had was when we built a a wood above the ground blind off
Yeah,
the
Pete and
river, so we
Simon.
got to hunt with Pete and Simon
And
and Garrett.
Garrett.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That's a cool spot. It's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we built a pretty cool above ground blind on the river. Fun spot just to hang out, bullshit. Put a few shooters up in the holes they can shoot. Guys calling from in the blind. Usually somebody standing out behind the blind calling under the trees. It's a sporty hunt.
Yeah, no doubt. But all in all, a really banner year. Banner year.
Mm-hmm.
Banner year for sure. Especially for the duck hunting again.
Yeah.
And the duck hunting was good.
We're ready to do some goose hunting now. And the geese are flying, so
Get serious about scouting.
we're going to get
All
to
right.
scouting.
Yep.
For all of you listening, peace out. We got shit to do.
Hope you guys are still hunting. And if you are, be safe.
See ya.
See ya.